time. Yeah.
That was 2020.
Yes.
And that's because something very interesting happened
Yes.
around that time.
Yeah.
So we're going to get right into that.
Yeah.
You built your platform off of Black culture and voices. And yet when it came to Farrakhan, you misquoted him and refused to apologize. And which led to a lot of people in the hip hop community coming at you and disassociating themselves with you, most notably Godfrey and Lord Jamar, who were regulars on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't disassociate myself with you. I remained friends with you.
Correct.
But I did boycott doing your show.
Yes.
I boycotted the show.
Right.
And you know, you made a statement that read at the time, you said, on Friday, Vlad TV posted an interview with D.L. Hughley where I referenced part of Farrakhan's speech about Jews. After our interview was released, so where you stand today?
I've changed my stance about this.
Okay. And why did you do that?
Well, at the time, I had some people around me who I thought had my best intentions, who I realized later on didn't and had their own agendas. And sometimes when you get into situations like this, you choose the people around you as opposed to the public. Because the people around you, and you being my actual friend and us talking about it for years and years, I felt that if I...
So, I didn't mean to cut him, but you mean to tell me in 5 years, this happened in 2020, and in 5 years, it took you that long to apologize? Something must have been, a lot of people must have been giving you the cold shoulder, making them feel a little uncomfortable in my position. I'm gonna let them raw. Shout out to Big Ant too, man, for putting this out real quick and chopping it up.
I was going to do it, I was going to do it on this platform because I've done dozens of interviews since then, right? And I've always said before my interviews, no Farrakhan questions. And everyone's always respected that, just like I respect people when they come to my platform too. You can't take a person's whole story and say, well, I don't like this one phrase he used on this one day and throw away all the other accomplishments. That's just not fair.
Right.
And at the end of the day, also, it's just words, right? Like, I've never heard of Farrakhan saying something that triggered violence or triggered economic catastrophes or anything else like that. He said what he said. Some people, accept it. Some people don't. But ultimately, I've never heard of the Jewish community being hurt by Farrakhan's words.
Having the capacity to apologize is not a weakness. It's an attribute.
Yeah. And let me be clear. I'd like to apologize to Minister Farrakhan for misquoting him back in 2020.
So he finally apologized, but he goes on to say, nobody pressed him, he just doing this because I guess he had some people around him who was kind of like trying to put him in that position. I think Vlad is being a little bit, he's not being real with us in this, in my opinion. I feel like Vlad definitely is something going on, There's something going on with, how you handling business and people are from this. This caused a lot of issue with you from the Black community because a lot of people don't understand how powerful Farrakhan is. A lot of people don't believe with him in his religious. But as far as him speaking out on for the Black community and calling things out, he was one of the ones that was doing it for a while. And a lot of people try to put him in this narrative and try to, say this and say that. And a lot of people don't agree with everything he's doing, but you gotta give him respect for being on the front line of tackling Black issues and saying what it is and connecting with the people. You can't take that away from him. So I feel like Vlad is trying to rebrand himself right now. I think from what he said and how people viewing him, you around that hanger with No Jumper, Adam 22, You hanging with DJ Academics. You hanging with these. You got suckers around you, bro. And it's like it's damaging your name now. So it's like now you got to clean things up, and you got to get because he says the show's doing fine, but we know that for a lot of you big time YouTubers that's been doing it, it's kind of shifting right now. Media is kind of turning to you got the you got the new black media that's coming in, and it's shifting right now. If you ain't on this, if you ain't on alignment with what the black media is on, you can kind of get shadow banned from the community. Like have nothing to do with YouTube or nothing like that, but it's kind of like we don't hold you to that caliber of content as people that's coming up that's standing on business for the culture. Times is changing. So he said something about black people speaking on what Jewish guys are doing in the community, and he feels like it's similar to if a white guy speak on the black community and try to criticize him. He gonna be looked at crazy, which I agree. But from our point, we see what these record labels, just like that incident that happened over there with Jake Lane, and he's talking about the black community, this derogatory rap music. We have to take all of the criticism on record labels that your, people that's in the Jewish community. I don't want to generalize all of them because I'm pretty sure it's a lot of them that don't even know what's going on. I've seen videos of them not attacking each other, but criticizing each other on the practices that they're doing. So I feel like Vlad TV, we have to voice this out because there are people that's looking at this and they seeing us as just we doing this. But it's some of us that's smart enough to know that this system is working perfectly how these people want the system to work. And with this rap music being violent and saying all of this gangster rap and taking out a lot of black people dying in the streets, we believe that a lot of these owners that's owning these record labels and owning this artist music has to play some kind of role on it, coming from the community that they come from, with speaking peace and not being anti-Semitic. I mean, a person like that, I don't think should even be trying to push no music like that. That's like that is similar to being anti-Semitic, but towards black people, kind of being racist because you're pushing this music out. I'm sure those higher ups wouldn't want us to push music like that out for their community. So on my channel, we always calling out, the politicians, the divine nines, anything that we feel that is detrimental to the black community, and they're able to point at us and say, it's you guys. Look how you guys are acting. When we know that we haven't been controlled, owning our community since the 20s, maybe in the 60s a little bit when the Black Panther Party was trying to do their thing. But after they, took out Fred Hampton and a lot of our guys, Malcolm, a lot of our guys, we feel that there's been a new ownership in town. And it has to do with some higher up people that's in your community, Vad. And we need other communities to call this out. Stop pointing at low hanging fruit and you talking about black people. So I think he apologized, but I don't think he understands the real root of the problem that we're trying to get to, and what Farrakhan really is known for, at calling out a lot of corruption that's done, if it's done by black, Jewish, whoever. So that's my take on this. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.
You are totally dependent on other people to take care of your needs because you don't have those roots sunk into the ground. To have a community, you must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control four basic things You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.